It was supposed to be a regular political interview, another routine moment in the media spotlight for Pam Bondi, a seasoned attorney. Former Florida Attorney General and a woman who had carefully built a reputation in the high-stakes world of politics. But what the cameras didn't anticipate was the twist of fate that would unfold before their very eyes. A moment that would capture the attention of millions worldwide in a polished studio in Washington, D.C., Bondi sat in the hot seat, a calm exterior masking the flurry of thoughts racing through her mind. The world was watching, and every word she said would be analyzed, dissected. Yet little did she know that her composure was about to be tested in a way that would reveal the truth. Inconvenient truths she had long kept hidden. The interview began innocuously, as expected. The host, a familiar face in the media world, greeted her warmly, introducing her to the live audience. It was just another political conversation, centered on her career and the issues that had shaped her time in office. The questions were safe. Routine, the kind she had answered 100 times before. But something shifted the moment the host turned the conversation toward recent political scandals. The question was innocent enough, or so it seemed at first. "So, Pam," the host asked with a smile, "we've been hearing a lot of rumors about your involvement with certain political deals. Can you share with us your perspective?" Bondi's smile faltered just slightly, her heart rate increasing by a beat. She had prepared for this moment. Politicians always did. There had been whispers of corruption and underhanded deals, but she had expertly deflected them before. This time would be no different, or so she thought. She opened her mouth to deliver the rehearsed response. But before she could, the studio door swung open, and walked Ibrahim Traoré, a figure known for his integrity, his fearless commitment to justice, and his unwavering stand against corruption. Ibrahim Traoré had made waves on the global stage, particularly in Africa, where he had become a symbol of resistance to exploitation and injustice. His appearance in the studio wasn't scheduled, and it immediately unsettled the atmosphere. He was calm, his eyes focused, his steps deliberate. His presence contrasted sharply with the tension that now gripped the room. Bondi's expression shifted from confusion to wariness as the cameras followed Traoré's every move. He didn't need a microphone to make his voice heard. His presence was enough. The host, momentarily taken aback, quickly recovered. Mr. Traoré, welcome. What brings you here today?" With a quiet confidence, Traoré nodded, then addressed the camera, his words direct and unapologetic. "Pam," he began, his voice steady, but with a weight that made every word feel like a thunderclap. "The world deserves to know the truth about the deals you've been involved in, the promises you've broken, and the lives you've affected. It's time for the people to hear what's really been happening behind closed doors." Bondi's heart skipped a beat. This was no longer just a political interview. This was an exposure, or worse nightmare. And it was unfolding in real time, the host stammered, trying to maintain control of the situation. "Mr. Traoré, are you accusing?" But Traoré cut him off with a single gesture. His hand swiped toward the screen behind him in a chilling end. Silence enveloped the room. On the large television screen, images began to flicker. Documents, photos, emails, conversations. The audience gasped as the images on the screen told a story far darker than anything Bondi had anticipated. Deals with powerful corporations, unchecked corruption, political maneuvering at the expense of the very people she was meant to serve. Each image was more damning than the last. The air was thick with tension, and for the first time, Bondi's perfect mask cracked. Her eyes darted between the screen and the cameras, the color draining from her face. Her truth was being laid bare for all to see. The host, still trying to regain control, turned to Bondi. "Pam, how do you respond to these allegations? Is this how you've built your career?" Bondi could barely find her voice. The words seemed to escape her, and for a moment she felt as though she were drowning. This was it, the reckoning she had been avoiding. She glanced at Traoré, his expression calm yet resolute. This was no attack, it was a challenge to face the consequences of her actions. Bondi finally managed, her voice shaky. I never thought this would happen. But But Traoré didn't let her spiral into despair. He took a step closer, his presence magnetic and filled with quiet strength. "Pam," he said, his voice softer now, but still filled with intensity. "You don't have to do this. You don't have to let your legacy be one of betrayal and lies. You can make a change. The truth is powerful, and it can be your path to redemption." The room fell silent. Bondi looked at him, unsure of how to react. This wasn't what she had expected. This wasn't the response she had prepared for. She had been expecting anger, judgment, perhaps even ridicule. But instead, Ibrahim Traoré, a man whose name carried weight and influence, was offering her something far more powerful: kindness. "I know it's hard to face the truth," Pam Traoré continued, "but it's the only way to move forward. The only way to make things right." His words lingered in the air, and for the first time that day, Bondi felt something shift inside her. The pressure, the years of hiding, of keeping up the facade, all began to unravel. Her heart raced, not out of fear, but out of something deeper. A realization that she didn't have to keep running from the truth. The camera zoomed in on her face, capturing the raw emotion that flickered there. A tear slid down her cheek, her usual stoic composure replaced with vulnerability. She finally spoke, her voice thick with emotion. I didn't realize how far I'd gone, how much damage I've caused." For a long moment, she was silent. And then, with a trembling hand, she turned to the audience and said, "I am so sorry for everything." The room was quiet, and for the first time in her life, Pam Bondi felt like she was finally facing the person she had been hiding from all these years. The truth had been exposed, not to destroy her, but to give her a chance to rebuild. A chance for redemption. Traoré looked at her with a quiet nod. "It's never too late, Pam. The first step is always the hardest. But you've taken it." The host, still reeling from the unexpected turn of events, turned back to the camera. "Today, we've witnessed something powerful. It's not just an exposure of corruption, but a moment of true transformation. The truth has a way of setting us free. And today, Pam Bondi has chosen to be free." The audience sat in stunned silence, the weight of the moment hanging in the air. As the cameras zoomed out, the lights of the studio seemed to soften, the tension dissipating like fog lifting in the morning sun.